All right, over the weekend, the Bears made a roster decision with Caleb Williams. It should silence any remaining doubters of who he is as a person and a player. The Bears players voted Caleb a captain. He is the first rookie in Bears history to achieve that honor. Shot or no shot? This was a surprise.
May have been a surprise to the general public. It was not a surprise to the people in the building. They've seen this building since he got there. Mm-hmm. He has done everything right about how he's developed relationships with his coaches and his teammates. They love this dude. But, Hoodie, I thought the locker room was going to fall apart. Wow. Guys were going to demand trades, and we're not going to have a roster or a franchise.
Wow. That is wrong and completely exaggerated, of course. That is, I said, no shot. You got to have leaders. It doesn't have to be guys that are tenured, like a Lewis, who's been in the league for 40 years. Mm-hmm. It doesn't have to be him. I mean, Caleb Williams, like, here's the C, man. You got to be a leader.
Yep.
Start now.
Yep.
So I think that, for me, it's not a surprise. There's no shot for me. I think that's good. He was a leader in college and grew up before our very eyes at USC. He's ready for the task. Now we got to see wins.
That's it.
Shea
Let's
Norley.
go.
All right, everyone, and I do mean everyone, was critical last year of Matt Eberflus's late-game decision-making, but a report over the weekend suggested that Eberflus was intentionally making conservative decisions late in games last year because he had no faith in Justin Fields to make a positive play. He was too concerned about Fields potentially taking a third or fourth down sack or making a turnover to be aggressive in late-game scenarios. So, shot or no shot? With Caleb Williams, Matt Eberflus will be much better in late game scenarios.
It's a shot. Now you got to let that develop. He's a rookie. Rookies can make decisions like, "Oh God, I can't believe you threw that there. What were you thinking?" With Justin, I told you this. There were members of the coaching staff that wanted to keep Tyson Bagent in and not go back to Justin Fields. Our offense runs better. That's how they were thinking. They were done with Justin in November. Like, that whole discussion for so many months was so stupid and pointless and not based in reality.
I think eventually that becomes a shot. I'd like for you to ask that question in December and January to see where we are through 18 weeks plus the playoffs. But I think eventually that is a shot. And again, you can be a Justin Fields fan, but I think that we were able to, like, you turn the lights on and the roaches start to scatter. We saw exactly what was going on with Bears fans. Some Bears fans just became Justin Fields fans, and that's not the same thing. Being a fan of just a quarterback because is different than being a fan of the Bears. You do realize that your favorite Bear could be around for maybe 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, and then they're gone. But still, you have to root for the blue and orange if you're a Chicago Bears fan. If you're an individual Justin Fields fan, you must feel horrible today because your favorite quarterback is the backup in Pittsburgh.
Correct.
If he was that good, he should have been able to beat out a guy that's at the end and Russell Wilson, and he could not.
Correct.
So the idea that the Bears mishandled Justin Fields or it's not fair, he should still be a Bear. Well, if he was that good, he'd be starting on Sunday. He's not.
Well, all you have to look is what the Bears got in trade for him. A 6th-round pick. 4 if he ends up being the starter, 51% of the snaps. That's it. The league was not beating their door down. I got to have him. Nope.
Having said that, I have nothing against the young man. I hope he gets 51% of the snaps.
Yeah, I'd love to get a 4.
Here's Shea Norley.
Well, on the topic of that, Justin Fields getting 51%. Was that a cracking a beer back here, Chardog?
Oh, that's
my goodness.
All right. You care to share, Charlie? Or here's Shea Norley.
200 milligrams of caffeine right there.
All right, 51% of the
with hops, with a foamy head. But that's your business.
Espresso martini in a can.
That's your business with your foamy head. Here's Shea Norley.
All right, we need an extra 4th-round pick from Pittsburgh for the Justin Fields trade. All he has to do is take 51% of the snaps. We just talked. He's not the starter right now. But Albert Breer of the Monday Morning Quarterback wrote up the situation in Pittsburgh. Apparently, the decision to start Russell Wilson was far from unanimous. People in that building were pushing for Justin Fields to be the starter. The eventual decision was, if we're going to take 2 chances at this, meaning eventually Fields will start. We might as well give Russ the opportunity to just cement himself. Shot or no shot, Justin Fields will take the starting job from Russell Wilson this season.
That is a shot.
Yeah, I agree. That is a shot because I have them picked dead last in the AFC North, and I don't think that team's very good. Russ is getting old. He could struggle. They'll give Justin a chance.
We can rewind the clock. This is what happens when you no longer have a franchise quarterback cap. After Ben Roethlisberger, they have just been spinning their wheels. We know Ben at the end wasn't very good. He had the lateral quickness of a rose bush. We understand that. But this is what happens. Ben's gone. What are we going to do? How many quarterbacks they've been through since Roethlisberger retired?
Brutal.
It's just tough.
Yeah.
It's tough. Justin Fields is not the answer. He's not. Not for the long haul. And neither is Russell Wilson. These are all stopgaps until they can figure out what they want to do. It's like the Steelers, and I know Tomlin doesn't want to do this. You have to go backwards several steps to move forward to get the quarterback you want.
You're correct.
They don't want to do that, though. There's less anybody. Middle shelf, used to be top shelf, bottom shelf, just win. Okay. And this is what pisses Steelers fans off upstairs and in the weather center over here. They get pissed off. Yeah, and upstairs with Maggie Sketch because they get so pissed off we're over 500, but yeah, we get the playoffs, but it's only stopgaps. You're just trying to keep the train moving, but you're never in the mix.
Mitch, Mason Rudolph, Kenny Pickett. Yeah.
Try, but this is where you are. This is when Ben, great quarterback for his time, and you haven't been able to replace him yet.
And you know what it is, honestly, is Mike Tomlin has been too good for them as a franchise. The fact that they just put nobody quarterbacks in and win 9 games every year, you're never going to pick high enough to get a guy.
See?
He's just been too good.
And he's a guy that's got pride now. He's not trying to take a step back. We're not tanking. I didn't come here to tank. We're going to win. And I believe him. Yeah, you're going to win, but you're standing still in that division. You're standing still in the NFL. You're just there.
Not good.
So the middle sucks, Cap. Just remember that. It's you can be the worst, you can be the best, but the middle sucks in sports.
Yeah, the middle's awful. The middle is absolutely awful.
Shea Norling.
All right, Ryan Poles talked to Jason Leisure over the weekend, revealed a somewhat surprising reason he took the Bears' job. His quote, "It was going to be a huge challenge, but there's a legacy part of this. To get the Chicago Bears back on top, it's going to be hard. It's going to be a lot of pressure. It's going to be a lot of noise. But if you get that right, that's legendary stuff." That quote from Ryan Poles on why he chose the Bears as his first GM job. Shot or no shot, Ryan Poles should have said he's chasing greatness.
Yeah. Yes, but then there'd be a copyright problem. And then
Ryan Poles' office. Yes, tell him David Kaplan's attorney's.
See, now that'd be a problem. He can say that. Hey, now wait a minute. Ryan, you can't say that. I'm chasing greatness. Take a look at a t-shirt. Recap on YouTube. Take that. I mean, come on now.
Want a hoodie?
I mean, seriously. I mean, could you imagine that phone call?
Hello?
Hello. Oh, man.
Hello?
Hello?
Who's this?
Who's this?
Who's this?
This is Chicago Bears, man. How you doing?
I'm good, but chasing greatness is mine. Chicago Bears. How about that? Use another phrase. Take that.
I could license it to you.
For a nominal fee.
Correct.
Take that.
And let's do it on a monthly basis.
Dr. Brew. I got him on the hook. $1 million. We're in, kid.
We're good.
Cap, you got to get him the hoodie. You got to get him a Chasing Greatness hoodie after a quote like that.
I do. 100%.
In hindsight, David Kaplan should have given it to him in the spring. Because that thing would be on Hard Knocks. I'm just saying. That'd be on Hard Knocks.
Can you imagine that?
And that would be our way of getting on Hard Knocks. Since apparently sports radio is not going to get on it this year.
No, not this time.
What happened, Shea, to the VU meters on the board showing us talking about the Chicago Bears?
That show's still on?
What happens to the?
Hey, tonight's the last one, right?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, it's still on?
Yes, it is. And by the way, I did a poll question the other day about Hard Knocks. I will give you the final results because we didn't work yesterday.
Okay, we'll check the.
I haven't checked the final, but I don't think Shea's going to be happy.
So